Hi, we're on day 22 now. There's just a week to go and I'm done with this. So today I'm still at my boyfriend's place and I actually asked him to leave the flat so that I could record this. And I think that's another sign of how I'm becoming more comfortable with taking up space. Like I literally asked him to leave his own flat. I said, can you go for a walk for 15 minutes while I do this? And I didn't feel like cringe about it, like, oh, this is just my little YouTube project. I need to do this. Like, no, it was something serious for me. Like, I'm doing this properly, seriously. So I felt happy I was happy watching myself do that. And to his credit, he was like, yeah, I'm really proud of you for doing this. And yes, of course, you can have all the time you need and I'll be back later. And so here I am recording this video and I think I'm definitely getting a lot better at looking at the camera. I'm also looking better at just speaking with less of these ums and ahs. I still don't think my posture is very good. That's like a whole other problem. So I can see that when I'm watching the videos back that I'm not very happy with the way that I sit or show up on the camera. But okay, like this exercise has done a lot for me. And I think one of the really, really important things it's done for me is that I've really gotten over this perfection paralysis. I'm just happy to ship it, whatever it is. I'm just shipping. I scheduled 2 weeks worth of content on Threads without thinking about it too much because I'm like, well, I just got to do it, So I'm a writer, like I write financial stuff. And I made a slide deck over this weekend about my services, and I'm going to approach clients in Europe and America because I think they would pay much more than what I'm getting paid here in the Middle East for the same services. Like I am very, very good at my work. I work with C-suite. I translate like what they want to say into language that their shareholders will understand. So an international relations firm in Europe would 100% understand what I'm offering and would be willing to pay money that actually makes me feel like my skill and my time and my talent is being respected. And what's it going to take? It's going to take, like, it needs a thick skin of like, okay, sending 100 emails, maybe not hearing back from anybody, maybe people writing back and saying, I'm not interested, thank you so much. And I can do that because I've been doing this exercise, right? This is me shipping in public. Like you can see it for yourself as well. You can go through all of my videos and you can see that there's like 1 view and 2 views on some of them, I'm coming from Instagram where my reels were getting like about 2,000 views, and then coming here where 150 is a really big deal, like real outlier type of thing, right? But I'm shipping this in public. If I can do this, if I have a thick enough skin to do this, if I could get over myself enough to do this, then I can definitely send those emails, because those rejections or ghostings or just ignoring is happening in my inbox. It's private. I really have nothing to lose. Like one person might think I'm lame, so what? 100 people might think I'm lame, so what? If one person writes back and says we're interested in your services, I'm in business for myself. I'm a step closer to my goals, to my dreams. So definitely, like at 10% of the way in to the 200 video goal, I can see how doing something like this would actually change your life. So I really recommend this as an exercise, even just this part of it, just as an exercise to anybody. And as I've said before, there is so much AI slop, so much AI slop out there on the internet. We are allowed to put out some human slop as, a way for us to get better at doing this, as showing up, at being present in our lives, at being authentic, at really uncovering what we authentically want to say. So that's that's that. Today I wanted to share something that was really close to my heart, which is how I actually healed my nervous system. I'm hearing a lot of talk about this, and there's like, I'm seeing all kinds of things like breathing exercises and cold plunges and lymphatic drainage massage, all of this stuff, right? It's a lot more boring than that. It's a lot more unsexy and unglamorous than that. And it's literally this. This is the TLDR version of it. Go to sleep on time, which is like 9 p.m., so that you wake up around 5 or 6, fully rested without an alarm clock. So fix your sleep. Eat when you're hungry. Drink water when you're thirsty. And very important, go to the toilet when you get the urge. That's it. These are the fundamentals of nervous system healing. Anything else that you want to do beyond that has to build on this. I discovered this quite by accident. I will make another video about this maybe tomorrow, but I honestly have 15 years of like humiliation when it came to the dating and love and romance area of my life. And after yet another breakup, heartbreak, whatever, I was so frustrated. I was like, they say that you have to love yourself first in order for somebody else to love you. And I think I love myself, but obviously I'm not doing it right if this is what's happening in my life. And I think that's a really important thing to notice, right? Because you can think whatever you like. You might view yourself or the beliefs that you hold in a certain way. However, your life is going to be an accurate reflection of what is actually programmed in here. So if you start looking at what's being reflected, what's actually showing up in your life, and using it as a mirror to understand what is happening in your mind, and therefore what you are putting out into the world, what filters and assumptions you are operating with, you move through your life much quicker. You progress through the levels much faster. So I was like, okay, so I think I love myself. I think like I'm doing all this right. However, the fact that I've gone through 15 years of like really humiliating situationships means that I'm not there. Something is broken, something is wrong. So I'm going to be very deliberate about this. I'm going to really just love myself hard. Yeah. And I started doing like, I didn't even know what that looked like. Like, I don't think there's really a manual for how to love yourself. I read a few books and none of them really like spoke to me, right? So I just started doing the things, right? All of the Instagram wellness girly things. And really, it was these things that made a dramatic difference. So I was cooking. I self-isolated for 6 months. So that I became the only voice that I could hear. And that was a critical piece of this whole thing. But in terms of the doing, I was going to bed at like 9:30 and reading for maybe half an hour before I fell asleep. So I was waking up with the sunrise every day. I was literally waking with the sunrise. The first thing I did was I put sunlight in my eyes and I watched the whole thing every day for a whole year because my flat faced sunrise. And I didn't close my curtains, so I would wake up like that. So my sleep was absolutely 100% on point. I was cooking very good food, nutritious food. I was a labor of love, and then I was eating it for myself, by myself. I was signaling to myself that I'm worth it. I'm worth the effort and attention to make a good meal, a nice, colorful, balanced plate, and then just eat it for myself. And I started drinking water. Like, it's surprising, but I really didn't know how to hydrate well. And the important thing, going to the toilet when that urge arises. So what happens is, You see, you can't regulate a nervous system that is on alert because you haven't fed your body, right? Like if we really, really break down the nervous system stuff into very, very, very simple language, your body exists in two modes. One is everything is chill, fine, we're happy, we're good. It's the rest and digest mode of your body. And the other is called fight or flight. And it's a, yeah, shit's going down, we're in danger, oh my God. Really, what's happening in that mode is your body is afraid it's going to die. Like, let's just put it in those terms, okay? Your body is literally afraid that it's going to die. It thinks that there is a threat to your life. So now when I put it to you in those terms, you understand how serious it is. Your body literally thinks that you are at risk of dying. So it is pulling all resources away from maintenance and digestion and your skin and your hormones and your sexual appetite and your food appetite, all of these things. It's pulling resources away from there, literally to keep you alive. Okay? So, we don't want to live there because most of us going through modern life are not at risk of dying on a daily basis, right? That's not happening to us. So we need to act like it. We need to act like we're fine, we're safe, we're not at risk of dying, we're not at war, we're not under threat, right? So that's the nervous system healing. That's the you teaching your nervous system, teaching your body that it is not dying. And you can't fake it. See, this is the thing that's really important. You can't fake it. You can't lie to your body about this. You can't cheat this aspect of your biology. Because if you are hungry, if your blood sugar is dropping, your body is going to perceive that as a threat. It is going to be on alert. It is going to be afraid that it is at risk of starvation and therefore dying. And you can't outthink your biology. You can't outsmart this. You can't do breathing exercises. You can't love and light your way or any other bullshit your way through this. You have to eat. You have to eat. Same way, if you need to pee and you're not going to pee, your body doesn't think, oh, well, I'm in a meeting and the big boss is here and he's talking really important shit. None of that matters, right? Because your body was designed for a very different environment where if you needed to pee, you could go off into the bushes and pee. Unless there was a predator of some kind in your life was at risk. Then you'd have to hold it in. You wouldn't feel the urge. It would go away because you're running for your life, because you literally, body is afraid that it might die. So if you don't go pee, because whatever is happening, your body is afraid that something very serious is going on. And that's your nervous system then being on alert, being afraid that it's going to die. That stress, that's what that means. It's in the wrong mode. And like I've really oversimplified this, okay, but it works. It worked for me. Like I hope it works for you, because all the complicated shit didn't work. This really worked. Same with not drinking water. Like I didn't even know what my thirst signals were like. I didn't recognize them. I could be thirsty the whole day and not actually know, because I didn't recognize what sensations my body made to let me know that it was thirsty. That's how disconnected I was from my body. Okay, so if you do these fundamental, like foundational things, then you can do the other stuff, like the walking first thing in the morning in the sunlight and the 10 minutes of exposure to sunlight. All of these things are good. I'm not saying they're not good. All of them are great. Every single one of them is going to do amazing things for you, right? The humming, the chanting, the vagus nerve stimulation, all that stuff, right? Amazing. But the foundation of it really is very, very unsexy, very, very unglamorous. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you do this for 3 months, you will set a new baseline. Your body will come to expect ease and comfort. Then it will develop more sensitivity to certain things. Like, for example, I started finding that my body naturally gravitated towards a lot of things that are actually written in traditional Chinese medicine. For example, they tell you to never let your feet get cold, and never let your neck or your head get cold. Well, I found that suddenly, as my body is becoming more and more sensitive, I no longer like to walk barefoot on tiles, so I would wear slippers at home. I started stretching, that increased more my sensitivity, so that led to me not being able to wear synthetic fibers for very long or not be comfortable in them. So now I wear linen and cotton. What else do I do? Like, I do other things, but it's not from the framework of healing my nervous system. As I said, it happened quite by accident. The objective was to love myself, so that somebody would love me. I mean, really, like that's the process that I went through. But I'm finding now that loving yourself and healing your nervous system is basically the same thing, right? Because you are loving on your body. You're telling it that you're not going to die. You're not going to die. We are safe. We're good. We're here. And importantly, your life can only change if you live in this mode, because creativity unlocks when you're feeling safe, when you're feeling loved. I think that's enough for today. I think I'll talk about this some more tomorrow, because I think there's more to this, like loving yourself. How I really did it, like, I mean, total no bullshit guide. What else can we talk about tomorrow? I'll think over it. But I think this is good for today. I hope I've given you something to think about. Thank you for joining me for day 22. I will see you tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful day, and may this day kiss you full on the lips.